Hello everyone, this is the Bisson here back with another video, and I did have a 100% win rate with Clefable in Season 20 of Pokemon Unite. I thought I'd talk about that and also explain how you can improve your win rate with Clefable, hopefully sharing some strategies, some tips, and ways that you can improve your gameplay with Clefable to allow you to increase your win rate. So let's start a bit from the beginning, because I was never naturally good at Clefable. In fact, I struggled with this Pokemon. Clefable released in Season 11 of Pokemon Unite, and back then I had a 22% win rate with this Pokemon. Yes, a 22% win rate. It was horrible. By Season 13, I had raised it to around 33% or so, which is still horrible, not good at all. So in Season 14, I buckled down and figured out, hey, I need to actually put some time into this, figure out where I'm going wrong, look back on my mistakes, and, focus and figure out where I can actually improve. And I made a video talking about that, where I improved my season's win rate of Clefable to 50%, which was pretty awesome. It was nice to see that much improvement. But over the past few months, have been working on it still. I love this Pokemon. Now, I used to hate it, but now I love it a lot. And I think it's so incredibly strong. Fast forward now to Season 20, where I have a 100% win rate. It's crazy to see that I was able to pull this off. And something I do want to clarify, I did only have 8 games. It would have been nice, of course, if I had more games. But still, winning 8 solo queue games as a supporter is not just coincidence, especially if you see the second game. You'll see that things definitely did not go all my way. These weren't just cakewalks. Some of these games were really rough. Some of these games were easier, of course, but some of these games were like the second game that you'll see, in which we had a stacking Decidueye, stacking special attack specs, might I add, and also a Leafeon who decided to call jungle second, split jungle, thanks ping all game, the classics of Pokemon Unite. We still had that going on, but despite that we were still able to win because Clefable is able to do that magic. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I did have a video a while back where I did talk about Clefable and how I improved with it, so if you are interested and you are struggling a lot with Clefable, highly do recommend watching that video. I'll briefly touch on those things in this video, but this video is more so focused on people who are doing fairly decent with Clefable, maybe with a 50% win rate, and who want to improve that win rate to get even better, because there are certain ways that I think when I play Clefable, and I think these tips will actually help you improve if you're already doing fairly decent. If you're winning 50% or slightly more than 50% of your games already, I think the tips in this video will help a lot. If not, definitely watch the other one. The first thing you have to keep in mind when you're playing Clefable is that you are not a tank. And I mentioned this in the other video, but you're not as tanky as Blissey, you're not as tanky as Wiggly. You are a healer. You are Clefable, you are totally different, even though it kind of feels like you're playing those types of Pokemon. You're a healer, you're not as tanky. And you have to keep that in mind when you're playing this Pokemon. And the most important thing, the biggest tip that I have learned when playing Clefable is that you are trying to juggle as many HP pools as possible. That's the best way I personally think of visualizing this. You're trying to juggle as many HP pools as possible. Let me explain what I mean by this. If you're playing other supporters in Pokemon Unite, like Comfey or Blissey, many supporters have the ability to heal lots of HP at once, a burst of HP of healing, and that's very good. That's very good in its own way, and you can help in teamfights a lot, especially if you have one Pokemon that you're trying to help carry the game. You're trying to help that carry ultimately win that game for you, and you're putting everything, all of your resources into this Pokemon, because that is your carry, right? That's how those Pokemon play, but Clefable is different. You're not able to do a single burst of healing, but instead, you're healing a lot of HP over a long period of time. This, in my opinion, is very strong and allows you to actually win more games, in my opinion, because you're not completely dependent on one teammate. Sometimes that one teammate who's a carry, who's playing great, can make a split-second wrong decision, and it can cause them to end up losing the game. But with Clefable, you're not putting all your eggs into one basket. Egg jokes. Because Blissey, didn't even realize that. But no, the point is, you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, you're instead healing everyone at once. And that is very important because you're solely able to heal everyone. And while Clefable isn't a tank on its own, it can tank some damage, right? You can take some damage, but then you do have to retreat a bit and make sure you're healing, make sure you're getting some health back. And while you're healing, while you're getting your health back, someone else on your team is probably going to be tanking some of the damage. If you ideally have a tank, they can soak up a lot of damage, but even if you don't have tanks in games, you can still soak up a decent amount of damage as Clefable, then try and allow other teammates on your team to start taking damage as well. You have to play around your teammates so incredibly well as Clefable, because you are trying to juggle everyone's HP pools at once, and it's tough to do, it's not easy by any means, but if you're able to do this successfully, you're able to completely dominate games, because you're healing not one person, you're healing everyone, and you're healing everyone a decent amount, and you're positioning yourself in relation to the opponents, trying to tank some hits for your teammates, and then positioning yourself further away so that other teammates on your team are taking hits at that point, and then they will ideally retreat a bit, or you just go in front of them, make sure you're starting to take the hits again. It's a little back and forth type of interaction that you're doing with your team in relation to the opponents. And this is what I mean by juggling HP pools. It's not easy, it is tough, and it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to be able to save everyone, but you're trying to keep everyone as healthy as possible for as long as possible. Because if you're able to do this, then you can definitely win team fights. Another major thing I want to talk about is Clefable's Unite move. Clefable has an interesting Unite move in the sense that you get one of many different types of Unite moves when you click it, and during that moment you're able to use it. It can be very strong, it can be not very strong at all. But there are different times where each Unite move is actually very useful. And prior to this video, I was actually not sure how to use the Unite move. I used to struggle a lot, but over the past couple seasons I've realized, hey, you need to use the Unite move of Clefable a bit early in teamfights. Not very early, not at the beginning by any means, but not as late as many other Unite moves. Some Unite moves in the game you're able to use a bit late, you're able to use when you're kind of not doing too well in the HP department, but with Clefable you have to use it a bit earlier in teamfights, because depending on the Unite move that you get, you can actually completely shift the way you play a teamfight and position yourself in teamfights. For example, if you roll block, and most of your team is already dead and you're using your Unite move, this doesn't help at all. So you have to use your Unite move a bit early, and then let's say you do roll block, you can push the opponents into your team, you can push them away from your team, you can do certain things like that. If you roll fly, you can use that to do chunks of damage to the opponents, and then after you do that, you just continue using your Moonlight, continue healing your team, make sure they're at good health. Because these are things that need to happen. You need to do these things early because depending on the Unite move you get, you can completely change the dynamic of an entire team fight. Let's say even with, Hydro Cannon. I don't know if that's the name of the Unite move, but you have the equivalent of that Unite move that is there, and that's good for CC. There are so many options that are there, and it just completely depends on the Unite move you get. So don't use your Unite move too late. Definitely use it a bit earlier, especially in relation to other Unite moves on your team. And you should be getting your Unite move back fairly quickly because ideally you're using an energy amp, and I guess I'll talk about items as well because I think that's also important. Because there are 3 items that I found to be the most successful with my personal way of playing Clefable. Energy amp being one of them. I think the Unite move can be so pivotal in teamfights, and Clefable gets its Unite move fairly quickly, so just slap an energy amp on it, and it makes your Unite move even more powerful, especially in teamfights. The next item I always run on Clefable is Experience Share. It just helps your lane ally so much. Experience Share is so good, please run Experience Share. Most of the games where I play as Clefable and I'm laning with a Cinderace or Lane Greninja end up being wins. I'd say 90% of the time I'm laning with Cinderace or Greninja and I'm playing as Clefable, I win. Which is crazy because most of the games where I'm not Clefable I end up losing. I say that for a fact. I know that is a guaranteed statistic for me, and it's anecdotal of course, but that's what I've seen. When I play as Clefable, I'm able to keep my teammates alive, I'm able to give them enough experience. Even if I play as other defenders and I have an Experience Share, I still struggle sometimes. But with Clefable specifically using Experience Share in lane with these Pokemon, in lane with any Pokemon, I'm able to keep them healthy and keep them alive and keep them strong. And it's really important, so highly recommend using Experience Share. The third item I use is Special Attack Specs, and this might be a bit contradictory because I'm using Experience Share, but I try and get a couple stacks in early game because your healing is based on your special attack stat. And in addition, you're able to do more damage if you have a higher special attack, so it's just good to get this to get these stacks in early game. And if you're not able to, because you'll see in the second game, I actually struggled with getting stacks in early, and that can happen. But even if it does happen, at least you're able to come back in, and if you have an Experience Share, you're able to give some value to your teammate, to your lane ally, by having that Experience Share, so at the very least, even if you don't stack as well as you would hope to, you can at least help your teammate get enough experience so they're able to be strong enough to help in team fights. I think these are all the most important things. First and foremost, you're not a tank for your team. Please don't think that you are squishy, so play like that. Second, you're trying to juggle your teammates' HP bars as much as you can because you're healing everyone, and that's the best way for you to win as Clefable is by playing as a team, by playing together and keeping as many people as healthy as possible. Sure, there might be some people who are off doing their own thing, who aren't part of team fights, but if you're able to keep the majority of your team healthy and strong, then you should hopefully be able to win. And finally, use your Unite move fairly early in engagements because that allows you to go in, get some damage and position yourself in certain ways to allow you to ultimately win team fights even better, because each Unite move on Clefable is specific to a certain way that you're going to approach a team fight. So make sure you're playing your Unite moves to the best of your ability. Hopefully this was helpful and informative. If it was, feel free to subscribe, like, and there's going to be more footage in the background. I guess there's some more information I can talk about related to this as well. All of this is for Moonlight Clefable. I personally am not the biggest fan of Draining Kiss. I know it got huge buzz recently, and it probably does help you for individually carrying games, but the way I play Clefable, I personally feel like I am allowed to be a lot more powerful and a lot better as a healer if I'm able to actually play as Moonlight, and I think it just works a lot better. Even if your team doesn't seem coordinated, at least that amount of healing will allow you to hopefully keep your teammates alive and hopefully win engagements. If you have additional tips for Clefable, feel free to let me know, or feel free to let other people know in the comment section. That's what that's for. That way you can kind of start a conversation and hopefully build on things, because I feel like there are so many small things with Clefable that you can improve over time, and it just takes practice. It takes a lot of practice, and it's not easy. It is a very different way of playing, but it's so dang rewarding. So hopefully you all found this informative and helpful, and I will be there in the next video. Cheers. I don't understand. I actually don't understand. Imagine saying check it out after stealing all the farm from your teammate. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Oh, I'm happy our special attack stacking Decidueye was able to stack. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, we don't win this, I don't think. If we're on goal, we might be able to. Actually, yeah, if we fight on goal, we can definitely maybe win this. Maybe not definitely, but... Oh boy, just melted. Just melted. Not much you can do here. Yep. Oh boy. Shout out to Leafeon. Oh my gosh, I can't even seal that. Okay. Hey, if we can win any game with Clef, this is the one where we have to really push ourselves to see if we can actually win every game with Clef. Come on, I need to get this. I need to get my 4th, thank goodness. Okay. Cool. Leaf Hulk, what a name by the way. Oh, he breaked off. Dude, shout out to Trevenant. Trevenant being absolutely insane, apparently. Out at the bottom, appreciate that, because we are getting hurt quite a bit. Nice, huge, huge. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay. If there was ever a game where we could prove Clefable can win every single time, this is the game. I need to stack though. I need to stack, but this is the game. Shout out to Espeon. Oh, I'm sorry. That was silly. That was a small break, and that's because of me. But I do need to stack, but still, that's kind of, that was a bad break. Yo, Decidueye steals the top objective. Hey yo, wait a second. This game. Okay. We get both objectives. What is going on? There's no way, right? We win this, right? Okay, I'm right on. Nice try, dude. Decidueye gets KO'd there. Unfortunate. We aren't pushing either... Or yeah, we're not pushing for a Lucky. Espeon pushing Bakul. Love that. 24. Not bad. And teammates are all bottom, so I can potentially score this up top now. Oh, yikes. Yeah, poor Decidueye. Probably need some help. But I also need to stack, buddy. I'm sorry. Don't need to stack. I just wanted to get the 6, you know? Mew's coming. Goodbye. Easy predict and KO. E-speed Luca. Didn't realize. That's fun. Gravity was a perfect choice then. Goodbye. Oh, buddy. Careful. Careful. Tried to warn you. A little bit late, but did try. Huge, huge. Huge. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, dude. Our Leafeon is so toxic. They're actually spinning on the opponents. Oh gosh. Spamming thanks. Calling jungle after someone else calls it. And also spinning on the opponents. Pure toxicity. Love to see it. Espeon, what are you doing? My guy, okay. Espeon is potentially getting KO'd for that. Yo, Leafeon with the secure? I mean, that's something. I just need to keep hitting it and hope the Decidueye can secure this. Buddy. Oh my gosh. Okay, thank goodness. A little bit scary, but we get it. At the top, I mean, don't know if it matters too much. Is there 4 or 5 up there? This is another small break, but it's a psychological break, right? Tier 2 goal gone. Or tier 1, tier 2, whatever. That goal is gone. Trying to keep you alive, we can't. Okay. Nice try, Gren. Nice try, Gren. Oh, okay. Good. Good KOs. Luca's down here. Leafeon getting center farm. I haven't used my Unite move with this entire game, by the way. I got you in gravity. Beautiful. Was that our Trevenant Unite? It was. I can Unite, I guess. Okay. Oh no, unfortunate. I have Energy Amp, so that's why I can Unite, and I think I should be able to get it back. Buddy, what are we doing? Oh, that's huge! No slow beam! Oh, wait, that's our Espeon Unite. What are we doing, team? Okay, I don't know what we're doing. This is becoming silly. But it's working is the thing. We need to run. I also need to farm. 54% on the Unite move. Headed top, yeah, but also not for the reason you're probably thinking, because I need to get this. If I went top, could we have secured that Aleki? Maybe? Don't know if he would have been there fast enough. Oh, maybe. Oh, this is actually probably a Rayquaza fight right now. Oh boy, Leafeon's good. Okay. Trying to keep you as healthy as possible. Decidueye Unites. Use my healing. Huge KO. Alright. Our Espeon goes down, which sucks, but we're not doing too bad. Ouch. Keeping you healthy. Buddy, I am trying so hard. Please don't die. There we go. Can we please? Okay, thank goodness. I was like, we need to KO this Miraidon. Okay, huge. Trevenant's alive still. Leafeon with the triple. We rip. We rip, we rip. 3 down. We have huge lead, but we... Okay, we don't need to rip, sure. Okay, that's fine. If we're not ripping, that's fine. And that's fair. They do have E-Speed Lucario who can hurt our team a lot. Oh boy, I didn't need to use my knight there. That's right. Block the slow beam. I don't know if that actually affects it. That was fun. But at least push them away, you know? Okay, we take that. Trying to keep you all healthy. Perfect. Should be a KO. GG's. Literally one of the worst early games, and Clef is still able to pull through. I actually don't... 126,000 damage, that's a buff. That's the buff for you. That's the buff for you. Holy. Leafeon did do 117k. Bro, this Pokemon is crazy. It's actually crazy. Good job. Good job, team.